going in this week, we're going to give it absolutely everything we've got for one more 80 minutes this season, and then what'll be will be.
Bristol's the first team to win an away semi-final, first team to win at the Stone X, also first team to keep you guys from scoring a 4-try bonus point. They have done tons of things this season, so their fans who've been paying attention all season long are looking at everyone calling them the underdogs, going, yeah, keep fueling our fire, because we have been doing all of the things that people say we couldn't do.
It's obviously something that drove Bristol all semi-final week, was that no one had ever won away from home and no one really gave them a proper chance. And I think that's something to be very cautious of with a side like that.
And everything you say now, they will play to the team
Exactly.
in their team room and go, Scazzy said you
Got
can't
some
do
very
it.
good friends
I don't
in that
even want
changing
this
room.
episode to go out, because it's like kind of giving everyone what to do. Do you know what I mean?
Read everything what to do.
I don't know. I'm just knowing. Just saying this.
Hello and welcome to the Good, the Scaz and Rugby, brought to you by our friends at Vodafone. Bonus episode. Scaz and Mo are still wearing their scrunchie and their bucket hat from Sicily.
Is that you showing it off?
She's showing it
I don't
all.
know which camera I'm working with.
I reckon when you move your head, take your eyes with your head.
I can't.
Like,
it's broken.
The look back was the really odd bit. No, eyes with you. Yeah, there you go.
Smolder. Sorry.
The whole point of this episode wasn't actually for Scaz and Mo to show off their scrunchie and bucket hat. It was actually to do a little
Weird.
PWR Final preview. How about that?
Oosh.
Can I leave?
You know someone who's going to be on the pitch.
Can I leave?
You're playing the Bristol Bears,
Yes.
but you are the defending champions. How do you feel about being the favourites?
Ooh. Are we the favourites?
Yes.
Right.
Are they the
Oh,
favourites?
come off it, Mo.
Sorry, I just wanted you to say
Is that
it.
just the narrative you want to spin, or do you actually not believe that? Or do
No.
you just want me to do exactly what I'm doing?
I actually hadn't thought too deeply of it, but I'm enjoying all of the above. Obviously, I feel like we've been the hunted all season, and I said it last week, didn't I? That everyone wants to see us lose at the minute. Like, everyone is literally like gunning for us, and it was that case. I think if we hadn't have lost against Sarries, I think it would be even greater now, because last year, if you weren't playing against Gloucester, like, you kind of wanted Gloucester to win, whereas this year I don't feel that love from everywhere.
I think it's not a personal thing, but
No.
in sport, neutrals love an underdog.
Yeah, 100%. So obviously, not being the underdog, were we the underdog last year? I'm not sure. Like, kind of felt like no
Not by
one
the
really
end of the
knew what was
season.
going to happen. Yeah,
But it was a fairy tale run.
it was a
Yeah.
fairy tale run. And everyone wanted to see us get the result. Whereas I think, obviously, Bristol coming in first final they've ever got to, obviously, first team to win an away semi-final. Yeah, like that. Yeah, so I think I think the neutral will be back in Bristol at the moment. So it does kind of feel like it's a bit equal, and it's not just us out there.
Considering how... What was that face?
That
It
was
was
like, I don't know, she was on a different media outlet talking.
Are you
I
mocking...
nearly dropped off.
Are you mocking
You
media-trained
nearly
Mo?
dropped off. Sorry.
Give us
Sorry
the
about that.
unmedia-trained answer
Go
then,
on, then.
Scaz.
Tell us what you really feel. African Violet.
Okay, African Violet.
Yeah,
When-
tell us what you really feel.
When you had
Bucket.
to select player of the match, bucket hat, in that game where Gloucester-Hartpury were so massively dominant over Exeter Chiefs, how hard was it to pick?
It was crazy hard. I think, like, obviously Clakey, I gave it to Clakey because I felt like
Because you had her on the sofa, you were a host.
because we're best pals now.
Yeah.
No, because I think obviously she scored 2 tries, set the ball rolling really well. Appreciate there was a hell of a lot more in them than obviously her just crossing. She obviously kicks really well, but also it's just some of those flat balls across the front. Like they for me were the difference in terms of how you guys attacked. You did a couple as well,
Thank you.
to Bex. But I think, like, it was really hard because the defensive effort of you guys was unbelievable, and where we were in our commentary position were really high, and you look down and it was just this Gloucester wall, and Exeter they were trying so hard, coming around the corner, and then they were getting double tackled by Maud and Zoe. Next one round the corner,
Neve and Sam.
Yeah. Next one round the corner,
Beth and
Beckett
Brock.
and Tat.
Yeah.
And the list goes on, and it was just relentless. It was so impressive, and I think Bristol will obviously pose totally different questions from an attacking point of view. And for me, I think that really excites me about the final because it will be different. Whereas I felt Exeter and Gloucester almost do a similar thing to different degrees. Bristol and Gloucester do totally different things.
Yeah, it's a complete clash of styles. Can we go back to one of my favourite highlights from that semi-final where Pipendi scores? It looks like she's running in fast forward.
The touch.
It's unbelievable. What is it that made that try? Because a lot of us are just watching the run in, but it's that pass that sets it up, right?
Yeah, so it all starts from like the defensive pressure, and sometimes it is pressure and sometimes it's perceived pressure because you've just not got anywhere for that period of the game. Yeah, exactly. So Exeter knock on, Hannah Jones, little touch off her foot, which Mo said at the end of the game, you know, when things stick, they stick. Apparently Hannah Jones isn't the best footballer ever.
She's not renowned for her footballing skills. She has been doing a lot of kicking, to be fair, credit where credit's due. And I've watched that touchback quite a few times now because I just think it's sublime. And she genuinely intends to do exactly what she's done. And I think it just makes it even more special.
Then sends Pip on her way. And I mean, she's been brilliant for you guys all season, isn't she?
Yeah.
Just takes the opportunity, takes the space, gasses, brilliant finish. And it was like, that's one of a handful of tries that if you pick apart, there's some serious quality in that. But then you look on the other side, and Renika Bonner does a very similar thing to score Bristol's last and, you know, most important
game
try.
clinching.
Yeah,
100%. And she's also been phenomenal for Bristol this season. Like the way that she's finished, the opportunities that she's got, I think she's been insane. Like especially through the cup and stuff, when obviously a lot of the girls were away, the way that she kind of grasped that period and just went after it. I think she's been phenomenal at what she's done as well.
Bristol's outside players are so important to them because of how they play the game. Because of how often they get touches on ball and how many exposures they have to just trying to take people on, sometimes with loads of space. And I imagine with a Gloucester D, less space, but nonetheless lots of opportunities. So be interesting to see how well or if Deborah Wills comes through, because she obviously was in a knee brace post game, but she's also been very good all season.
And that Bristol has made it this far, considering the game that they refuse to change. They are playing their game. They are resolute in this. It is not a game that traditionally, especially in the men's game, would get you to a final or would win you a final. So this is them putting a stake in the ground, saying, we are not changing. If we are winning this thing, this is how we're going to do it, right?
Wouldn't be surprised if it changes a bit. Not going to lie.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, not going to lie. Well, you saw Kira Bevan likes a kick.
Okay, so in finals time, it's a beautiful day. There's no wind. The sun's finally made a bloody appearance. You don't think they change?
Primary option, yeah, probably run. But really wouldn't be surprised. Before, when we've played Bristol, Amber Reed's put those little dinks in behind. Obviously, their chip game to regain. Kira Bevan likes the long kick. Holly put a few chips in. They kicked more against Sarries than they have in quite a while.
But I'd argue that
more against you.
I'd argue that is their game. So like the short kicking game, I think, is part of their game. Because that's tradition, that's attacking rugby, right? What they don't do is sit back in a pocket under pressure in their 22 and send a long
I don't think they're going to do that.
Kick it straight away.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more kicks in terms of like, fair enough. Maybe we're on the same page then. Right, you don't think so? Because those eyes just gave me like,
Scaz
I'm not on the same page as you.
No, I think we are. But what
I think there's going to be
what I'm saying is I think
more
that
kicks.
Yeah, but I think that is part of their game, those little ones.
Yeah, fair enough.
That chip stuff. And also you think previewing a Gloucester D like we've just spoken about, a way to stop and alter and change up a really prolific, strong defensive line is by putting a little one over the top, pushing one through. You defend on the edge. Where's the space? It's somewhere.
Or do I?
But then this is the game of chess, and this is what I love. And I can't wait to start doing my homework for previewing it all, because these are the things like who changes because of the opposition, or who's just goes, this is us, we're going to do it the best version that we can, stop us.
That's the interesting, and that's what you say about the chess game, is of the two coaching staffs, who is going into this going, we are going to have to find a way of winning this, and who's going to go, we'll just do plan A, stick to our guns, go at it. Bristol's the first team this year to win, or the first team to win an away semi-final. First team to win at the Stonex. Also first team to keep you guys from scoring a 4-try bonus point. They've done lots of...
Don't get us started on the minus degrees again.
And it was -4 that day. We heard the whole story. They have done tons of things this season where they were the first to do this. So their fans who've been paying attention all season long are looking at everyone calling them the underdogs, going, yeah, keep fueling our fire, because we have been doing all of the things that people say we couldn't do. How risky is that?
I think they go into it as underdogs, but I don't think they go into it as
significant underdogs.
Not given a hope in hell.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. I don't think you ever can going into a final.
No.
I think when you objectively sit back and look at Gloucester's season versus theirs, points, tries, players, trends and how teams have been going, yes, you put Gloucester as favourites. But to your previous point of the two coaches that maybe goes away and looks at, we need to try something a little different, or let's try this. You know, every week you come up with a special play because you see something in a defence or you see something somewhere where you're like, we can get them here. I think Dave has to do that more than Linny, just because Gloucester are so good at what they do and their defence is so good. Did Exeter score a try at the weekend? They scored a couple, didn't they?
Yeah, 3 in the end.
3 at the end. Okay, fine. But I think from a Bristol point of view, they have to potentially look at it a bit harder.
What's great for Bristol, and Dave Ward said this, scrums and line-out won the game for them. Those are the things that, considering the rest of their game, if those two things are solid, because you guys were so incredibly dominant in the Gloucester-Exeter game in the scrums, is if they're holding you in the scrums and their line-outs are really competitive and you have the Zoe Aldcroft, Abby Ward like line-out battle, and they're tangoing with Gloucester in all of those areas, considering the kind of players they have, Lark, hat-trick, 2 from a driving maul, 3rd from a pick and go, that front row, Simi, Hannah Bottoman, Lark, there's a ton of serious firepower there.
Crazy amount. I think you just look at the 2 packs that will go head to head. Also, Hannah Bottoman was playing tight head, which is quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
And to play 80
and did
minutes.
a job.
That whole front row doing 80 minutes is ridiculous. Sarah Byrne was also running water at the weekend. We haven't seen her for a long time. I haven't spoken to her. I don't know her fitness levels. But what an unbelievable bolster that could be if you could get, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes out of a player like her in a final. One, for confidence of a side, but also obviously everything that she brings. So the pack battle is going to be crazy. You talk about Bristol's line-out and the success of it. Actually, they started really wobbly. Their maul has been very devastating once they get going with that, which is why Lark scores so many tries. But matchups everywhere.
It is, like, we're really spoiled for choice here. If you had to pick a combined team.
Do you know what?
Here we go.
No, so
Settling.
Sarah Hunter and I worked obviously together at the weekend for the semi-final, and we did a rough one for the Bristol Sarries game, because we were kind of making the point, like, this is a joke. And we went in kind of sections and you're like, that one at a push, that one if you had to pick one, and it was kind of a cross of the two teams, and none of them were easy decisions to make. And I think it's the same in terms of a Gloucester and a Bristol. And Mel will frown at me because she's like, I love my team and they're all the best, but like the quality of play that Bristol have, playing the way they play, is also like a big threat.
No frowning. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Definitely no frowning.
No frowning. Can't frown.
Can't frown anymore.
Dave Ward immediately got ahead of the narrative that they've already played their final, Bristol Bears. And if I were the media manager for Bristol Bears and I saw that post-match interview that Ronita did, I would have literally run up to the coach and say, you have to put this out there. This is not our final. This is our semi-final. And he did exactly that. This is something we've seen so many teams do, play the most sensational semi-final game ever, feel so incredibly happy about just being at the final, just having a shot at this game. And Ugo asked Dave Ward, how much of a motivation was it that everyone had written you off before this game? And Dave said, including you, Ugo. I mean, he's ready to fight.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
What did Hugo say?
Well, I mean, he was diplomatic, as you need to
They're
be.
former teammates, aren't they? So they can give each other a bit.
And that's the thing, when you can give a bit. But that is probably now in this phase leading up to this final, I wouldn't want to have to coach Bristol into playing their final now, because I think that's actually a really difficult thing to do. You guys have been there, you've got the experience. Is there something that you learned out of the build up to the final last year that you will draw on this time, Mo?
I honestly don't know. I can't really remember it, if I'm being honest.
Really?
With you. Yeah, genuinely. My memory's terrible anyway. We won't go there. But like the girls are so on it. Like everything that we spoke about this week, like Exeter, the big message going into this game was Exeter are a comeback team. Like every time we've played them recently, like we went up 31-19 against them last time we played them at home, and it was within 7, and they had all the momentum at the end of the game. Obviously their Surrey semi-final last year, they scored in the last play of the game. So the message was, when you think it's done, it's not. Like, just keep going at it. Do you know what I mean? So the girls have been unbelievable with that sort of stuff, and I think we knew what we set out to do this year. Like, we wanted to give ourselves a shot at going and winning the trophy again. Like, we got ourselves into the semi-final to give ourselves a shot at it, and there was, like, we were all going to do everything we could, and if we weren't the best team on the day, then we weren't the best team. But that's exactly the same. Like, going in this week, we're going to give it absolutely everything we've got for one more 80 minutes this season, and then what'll be will be.
Do you know what I think really helps is the weekend off?
Do you?
For Bristol. So if we're going along potentially played their final already, you think of a normal week where you're still buzzing on Monday, Tuesday, coming back into training with everyone, and then you flip the focus back end of the week, and then all of a sudden you're playing. It's well out of their system by the time the final actually comes around, because it's not a week, it's 2. The prep period, the calm down period, for want of a better term, and also they have got too many good experienced players to not enjoy the moment, because it was a huge feat. Tides never won an away semi-final before, but then to flip the switch and go, this is ahead of us, hell of an opportunity, knock off the champions. I just think there's too many good players in that side that I'm not saying they're going to go out there and win by any stretch of the imagination. I do think Gloucester are favourites. However, I don't think that the semi-final thing will be a thing for them.
Do you know what I absolutely loved? Social media award of the semi-finals weekend was Rachel Burford, recently retired.
Me and Son saw this in the car on the way home as well.
You know what I'm talking
and me
about.
with his glistening little eyes.
Remarking that Sean Lynn, your coach, Gloucester-Hartpury's fearless leader, surely should be on the shortlist for the British and Irish Lions Women's Lions 27 tour to New Zealand.
How can you not look at him? I don't know how, I don't know the politics around it and how it's normally picked, because obviously it's normally, if you look at the men's side, it's normally picked from the international coaches within the unions. I don't know how it all happened. I've no idea about any of that, but he has to be in the mix. And Mo still wants to be playing then, so that gives her a shout as well.
Come on, rugby gods.
Where's the table?
Yeah. I was touching it with my feet, but all right.
Sean
yeah,
Lynn,
it's a brilliant shout.
On the list for the Women's Lions. So is it RTT this weekend?
It is the T.
If you don't know what that is, you have to go watch the episode they did with Flakey and Zoe Aldcroft. I'm not going to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, no, it is. It'll be RTT. It'll be RTT for the whole week leading in, and then do everything we can at the weekend. But eek.
I would actually love to hear you with an RTT team talk.
I'd
love to see it.
Zoe's genuinely one of the best at them. Like,
no, I know.
Honestly,
but
that girl
the character
gets us
difference
going.
between Zoe and Elma.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Quite different.
The problem is you'd only laugh in my face.
No, we wouldn't.
But do you know when you guys were talking on that episode about how exuberant you are on the pitch, our Mo?
What does that mean?
Just so excited and constantly go, 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 go.
Big energy.
And her giving you the eyes, the stare.
Oof, the death stare, yeah.
I related to that so much because I worked in a team with and my teammate Kerry used to be the guy who would just have this quiet, like off to the side. You just need to cool it a little. Everyone doesn't have the go, go, go energy that's right up here the whole time. It's a little frantic now. We just need to calm this down a little bit.
I thought you were going to say Richard, your husband.
Well, yeah, that is also why I'm married to an introvert who has the most chilled personality on earth because he just scales me down a little bit. We were comparing our walking speed the other day on our phones. My walking speed is double his.
What? Sorry, what?
Do you know that your phone tracks your walking speed?
No, I did not know that. Why would I know that?
If you go onto your health app,
some holiday you
I
do.
bet you knew that. Do you know that?
Of course I don't know that.
the number of times I have to say to him, "You walk in front, I'll follow," because otherwise I just trundle off on my own. And on that topic, we're going to be speeding off towards Sandy Park.
Sanchi.
Sanchi Park.
Sanchi Park. It's good that. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, prediction, Scazzy.
Oh. Do you know what? Can I just caveat this with, I love the fact that it's obviously something that drove Bristol all semi-final week, was that no one had ever won away from home and no one really gave them a proper chance. And I think that's something to be very cautious of with a side like that.
And everything you say now, they will play to the team
Exactly.
in their team room and go, Scazzy said you
Got
can't
some
do
very
it.
good friends in that
I don't even
changing
want this
room.
episode to go out because it's like kind of giving everyone what to do. Do you know what I mean?
You need everything what to do.
I don't know. I'm just nervous. I'm just saying this.
Which of the two teams will get the most out of the venue?
Are we talking on a dry, clear, sunny?
We're anticipating
We
a
both
seaside
know the
day.
answer. You're not going to offend me.
Well, I think it will bring Bristol's game more to the fore, which I think is what we want for the final. But I don't think either team...
You want.
I don't think the width of the pitch and a dry day suits both sides. And
We have a game for
massive
that, yeah.
dead balls at Sandy Park, so
Massive.
kick to scores.
Yeah, that is definitely one to keep an eye on because Bristol do love a kick to score. As do we, actually.
Yeah, everyone does.
Right, there we are.
Okay, Mobi,
No,
Come, Splinters.
Can we go it now?
because we're going to rewind and check if you were right. You said Bristol could still make the final. You called it, and they did.
Yeah,
Help me.
I would have put Sarries as favourites, but I knew that if they could pull something out of the bag. Gloucester, let's go 36-27. Don't even know if that's
That's a proper
mathematically
high-scoring...
possible.
Yeah, that's a proper high-scoring final, though.
Yeah,
I do
22,
think-
4 tries, 1 conversion, then another try. There
I
we
do
are.
think there'll be scores. I don't think we'll be short of tries.
Good fun.
Let's hope so anyway.
So if you don't have your tickets yet, come play. It would be lovely to have more friends along. And if you are wearing red and white, then Mo won't complain. Still time to get your tickets to our
Stay
live
there.
show. Mo, are you okay?
It's just too early to be doing this. Like, the anxiety is rife.
What is your coping pep talk that you give her, Scazzy?
Generally, sometimes tough love, isn't it? It's like, pull yourself together, you're fine.
Cry on the inside like a winner.
Yeah.
Yes.
But sometimes I actually
That's
don't
what's
even
happening
say
now.
anything. She just needs to hear a different voice.
Other than the one
She's
in
just
her mind.
comforting. You know, like when you see your mum and you give your mum a hug and it just makes everything better?
Uh-huh.
Scaz is that person for me.
Okay.
She just makes everything better.
What can we do?
Stop talking about it.
Okay. We'll bring croissants and chocolates.
No, don't do that.
And then if you win,
If I win, you'll see me on the pod. If I don't, see ya.
Really?
See you next year. I will see you on the pod either way.
and that's why we love you.
Namaste.
She is going through the most, guys. Okay, we're going to put her out of her misery and end the
Namaste.
show now. Still time to get your tickets to the final and to our live show. Make sure you don't miss it. It's going to be on the BBC iPlayer as well as on TNT if you can't get down to Sandy Park. 3 p.m. kickoff. Good luck to our Mo.
Thank you. Bring all the good vibes, everyone.
And we'll see you there. We are The Good, The Scaz and Rugby, brought to you by Vodafone. The Good, The Scaz and Rugby is a folding pocket production produced by
Shira Kilgallen.